Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time taking a look at the 1998 Ford Focus 1.8 Injection Zetec. This is the first generation of the legendary Ford Focus, a lineage that still continues to this day, although for how much longer no one knows, and it's probably not a very long time considering the Fiesta's dead. But back in the day, the Focus, this was the ultimate in family transportation. It still looks fresh and modern today. You can just tell this car was way ahead of the curve, just with the tail lights and the sharp angles, and the fact this was actually a really, really nice car to drive. You can see why Ford owned the sale charts back then, and you can see why Ford own the sale charts now, because the car that they sell is admittedly okay to drive and okay to look at, but it's a boring family crossover, which is what we're told everyone wants now. Anyways, this car is not as powerful as the 2-litre version, which is coming later. That is very, very quick. This one, we'll see. Front engine, front wheel drive, 260 horsepower, 1,035 kilos, so it is light. It's going to get 6 laps off the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is another Ford. It's the GT90, which is not a Focus. 28.180 for that car. The Focus is, of course, not likely to beat that. The Focus, in terms of cars that we've had that are similar to this, we've had the Peugeot 306, which actually before the Focus came along was probably the keenest handler of all of the hatchbacks. That was actually quite a disappointing car, 31.7. We've also had the Astra. Astra was a 30.928. Now, admittedly, the Astra did have about 60 odd horsepower on this, so is it going to beat the Astra? I suspect not, as much as I'd really like it to. I think we're going to have to wait until the 2-litre gear model comes around, because that car is going to be quick. The 2-litre gear, for those of you who don't know, this makes about 260 horsepower, I think it was. The gear is much closer to 400 horsepower. The gear is not a slow car in the slightest, so we'll see how much quicker the gear is to this. I mean, obviously, power only gets you so far around this course, but with it being front-wheel drive, it's probably going to be quite quick. I strongly suspect that'll be one of the quicker hatchbacks that we have. Although, to be fair to this, 31.262, already not bad. It's almost beating the Vectra, which, admittedly, this car is, a million times better than a Vauxhall Vectra, but the Vectra did have, again, like 60 more horsepower than this, because the Vectra and the Astra shares engines. They're both sort of the 2-litre ones, so not the V6 Vectra that's coming later. I don't know how much power that makes off the top of my head. If I had to guess, probably not as much, or not that much more than the 2-litre does. It's quite a nice driving car, this. There is a little hint of oversteer in this. Actually, to drive reminds me a little bit of the 306 in that regard, because the 306 involves very oversteering. This, fortunately, is a little bit more controlled than that. I think I'm missing something when it comes to outright power, which, with me being a human being who is very fallible, I like having a bit of power because it allows me to cover up some mistakes, basically. So having some power in this would be nice, or some more power, I should say. But still, I mean, if it does end up 0.2 within the Astra, that's not bad, really, considering this is the less powerful of the two, and as I say, the gear can come round. For that, 30.949, actually, that's quite close to that Astra. Does it beat the Astra? It's fractionally slower. Fractionally. That's a nice car to drive, actually. Like I say, I think I would like more power, but I know I could get more power. So really, this entire episode is me just making excuses for this two-door Zetec because I really want to drive the 2-litre gear model, which I think's better looking and comes in better colours. Yeah, maybe if that first sector was a little bit better, we could be looking at a car that beat the Astra, but that's still not bad. 30.949 puts it into 49th place. As I mentioned, fractionally slower than the Astra. It's actually not far off the Mercury Cougar, which is this but with like double the power, so maybe power isn't the answer to everything. Who could have guessed? It's quicker than the Supra, NSX, 106 Rally. It's a quick car. It's a nice to drive car. I can't fault the Focus. It's much like in real life, you can't really fault it other than the fact it's propensity to rust, but ignore that problem. Yeah, good car. I can't wait to drive the gear model. That'll come in the future, but for now, yeah, pretty good. Not bad. I wish it'd beat the Astra though, because I know the comment section is going to be filled with people who are Team Astra as opposed to Team Focus. Can you tell which team I'm on? Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and join us next time when I'll be driving something quite different. Until then, farewell.